I'd like to start today by asking you a question. It's a little bit off the wall, but just bear with me. How many of you remember your first love? Well, I remember mine as if it was yesterday. She was beautiful. She lit up whenever I was around and made me feel like $1,000,000. Now, she had a few more miles on her than I would have liked, but hey, they say love is blind, right? Her name was Lola. Let me tell you about her. Lola was a 1.6-litre fuel-injected Ford Orion. Gunmetal grey with just a fleck of silver in the paint that caught the sunlight just right. Absolutely gorgeous. And I remember one day Lola and I were taking a drive, and as we meandered along the English country road, she handled like a dream. But as we approached my hometown of Bristol, she started to hesitate, and Lola was never one to hesitate. I pulled over to the side of the road just as her engine failed. Now, I had no idea what was wrong, but I did know I was going to have to call the local Ford dealership, which just happened to be owned by my family. And as I set off to find a payphone, yes, it was before we all had mobile phones in our pockets, I thought, I know, I'll phone my father's assistant, Jean. She'll know what to do. Hello, could I speak to Jean Guest, please? It's Richard Bryan. Yes, Bryan. That's right, same as the name over the door. Okay, thanks. Jean, it's Richard, is Dad there? No, don't interrupt him, I've broken down. No idea what's wrong. I'm on Cumberland Road. Yep, by the cathedral, that's right. Oh, that'd be brilliant if you can send a couple of guys. Oh, and Jean, please don't tell Dad. Okay, thanks, bye. As I sat there waiting for the tow truck to turn up, all I could think was, now they're really going to think I'm the idiot's son. Son of the owner of the largest Ford dealership in the city, and I can't even start my own car. At that point, the tow truck turned up with two guys on board. Nigel, our most experienced mechanic, and his young apprentice, Charlie. Oh, Nigel, thanks so much for coming. I don't know what's wrong. I've tried turning her over, completely dead. I think it might be something to do with the fuel injection system. No worries, mate. Give me the keys. Let's have a look. Nigel jumped into the driver's seat and started carrying out some tests. Less than 2 minutes later, he jumped back out. Well, mate, it's definitely a fuel problem. You ain't got any. At this point, Charlie jumped out the truck, laughing hysterically, grabbed a small empty gas can and said, "Oh, all right, Governor, do you want me to do the honours and fill her up?" And I watched as he walked 20 feet to the gas station I was parked next to. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, Nigel yelled, "Charlie, show some respect to Mr. Bryan. This Einstein here is going to be our boss in a few years." And 10 years later, when I was his boss, every time I walked through the workshop and made eye contact with Nigel, he'd just look at me and go, as if the whole thing was our little secret. But you see, I knew full well that he told everyone on the shop floor, and probably any bloke in the pub who cared to listen. In fact, I can picture him now in the Rose and Crown on a Friday night. "All right, boys, time for our toast. We raise our beers, and we give 3 cheers, and we do it all in fun. To Mr. Richard Bryan, his lordship, our boss, the idiot son." Well, at least that's how I imagined it when. Now, in fairness, Lola did have a faulty fuel gauge, so showing that she had a quarter of a tank when in fact she was empty. But somehow I don't think Nigel shared that bit of information when he told the story again and again and again. And such is the joy of growing up as the 4th generation in a family business. So for the short time we're together today, I'd like to share with you some of the lessons I've learned, not just from being in a leadership position in a family business for the last 20 years, but also through working with some of my clients who are privately held companies across the United States and United Kingdom.